Hello, Ken Spriggs here with a review video of 3 new kits that I got recently that are all 2001 A Space Odyssey themed. And the first 2 are from a company called Larson Designs or Lunar Models from a gentleman named Chris Larson. Lunar Models has been around for many years actually, and a lot of their older kits have become difficult to find, and they're being redone by him, and he's recasting them and updating them so that they're better versions of them as well. So he has a Facebook channel and also a website, which I will link in the video. Now the second video, the second model that I'll show here, a friend of mine in California had an older version of it. I won't spoil the surprise till I show it. But he was in communication with Chris Larson, and he sent him this older version, which had quite a bit of flaws on it. And Chris used it for measurements and to help him to recast the new one and to do some upgrades on it and make it nicer. So, okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these awesome 2001 kits. All right, and here is the first kit that I want to show you from Lunar Models. I wanted this kit for a while. I've seen it before, and I think it was unavailable for a while. There's a couple versions actually. What it is obviously is you have an astronaut and you have the Neanderthal man, or the ape as they call it. The ape's on one side, the astronaut's on the other, and the monolith is in the middle. It doesn't come with the monolith. They give you the measurements. All you do is just use some styrene and make your own, and it fits into the slot right here, and obviously stands up, straight up and down. So you have the astronaut standing on one side where he's on the moon, and he's reaching out and putting his hand out to touch the monolith. And you have the ape on the other side, or like I said, he's not really an ape. He's a Neanderthal man, and he's doing the same thing. So where's that at? Well, to figure out how that works. All right, but he's also reaching out and trying to touch the monolith. And there's also like a boar skull, which is kind of cool. So that goes somewhere on here as well. The one that he smashed with the bone. I guess that's supposed to be the bone. He throws up into space. So really cool kit. I believe this comes also with just the astronaut touching the monolith. And that's why there's 2 different halves of it. You can put this together. And then there's some instructions, of course, how to go about building that. And then the astronaut has this little pack where it has some of his oxygen hoses, which are kind of cool. And it has some little decals with the symbol that go on his shoulder. A little, I can't even hardly read that, but it's the accurate symbol that goes onto his shoulder. There might be some other places too. So very nice kit, nicely detailed. I like the astronaut with his ridged suit. And I believe the ones that were on the moon are silver. His helmet is solid, but nicely done. So I can paint that so it looks glossy and looks like a clear visor. It's just darkened, you're not going to see it, that kind of thing. Certainly his oxygen pack that goes on his back, and the one that goes on the front. You got his 2 arms, of course, and his boots that go on there as well. So okay, so really cool model. Very excited to be able to build this, and it's a nice size one. It's not going to take too long, but they're going to look cool. And the ape, of course, I'll have to paint him some colors that look like it's fur, that kind of thing. So, and his head, which is pretty cool, goes on there as well. So that's going to be really neat. All right, so a fantastic kit. Highly recommend it. I will put a link in the description for the Facebook page for Chris Larson, for Lunar Models, and if you're interested in getting one of these, definitely contact him, and I'm sure he'll be glad to get you set up on that. So okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the other one that I also got recently from them that they just finished up here. All right, and here is the second kit from Lunar Models. As you can see from my hands, it's really quite large. Obviously, it's the Space Clipper Orion. This thing is just massive. Just to kind of give you an idea of how big it is, here is the Mobius version of the kit, as you can see. It's not twice as big, but it's close to it. It's humongous for sure. So definitely a very large kit indeed. And basically what it has is it has three main parts. So it has the front part of it, and most of it is solid except for the area for the passenger compartment, and the windows are opened, and they have a little basic passenger section in here. You just have the some ridges and the aisle in the middle and some seats that go inside of it. And there's 20 seats altogether. Obviously there aren't that many that go in here, but you have some options. So I'll have to get a figure. There are no figures, so I'll have to get some like HO figures for like a model railroad and put some of those on there so you can see them. It also has some vacuum form window sections with the partitions in between them. I'm not sure if I'll use those or not. I may use just make my own up to have that detail there. And it has the little fins, the little spikes or whatever you want to call those rods that come out the back, and two little engine nozzles which go into right here. They go right into the back of this. And it's really cool too. It has the ridges built into the exhaust, engine exhaust, which are kind of cool. And this is also one solid piece of resin too. So this is a pretty heavy model. It's definitely very solid. It's going to have some weight to it. The wings are very nice, and from what I understand, these are a huge improvement over the original version of this. This was the old one was used to recast in order to make the newest one from Lunar Models, from Chris Larson. And this is pretty cool. Lots of nice detail on it. You've got the little openings in the front, which are going to be black. You have the openings under here, which are also dark as well, that go on there. So, and then you have a decal set. I don't know what it is about it, but the Pan Am really makes it look like the actual filming model from the movie, obviously because it had Pan Am on it. I don't know what the issue is, why they cannot use Pan Am on the regular models. Pan Am, as far as I understand, hasn't been in business for many years, so I'm not quite sure. Don't know why they can't, but definitely that's important, I think. A bunch of little teeny details as well. What it doesn't have is all of the gray panels that you're going to have here. So I'm going to have to mask those off and paint those on, because I think that really kind of makes it. These were decals from the Mobius set, obviously, that I put onto mine here. And but that should be fairly easy to do. The panel lines are there, so they're nice and deep, so it should be pretty easy to mask off the panels that I want to paint gray, and just paint it white first and then paint it gray and get the detail that I want. So that'll be pretty cool. Make it look more realistic at this scale. So the cockpit obviously is solid, so there's no cockpit opened up to light up or anything. So I'm not really going to worry about that. I will probably put something over that, maybe to look like it's clear window or something like that. We'll see. But okay, so really cool kit. When it's all done, it's going to be about 2 feet long if you include the little teeny spike thing sticking out the back. It's about 23 inches without these, so you're looking at about 2 feet total. Definitely a really hefty model kit, and it's gonna need quite a bit of support to put it onto a display. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to go about that. The only issue that I could really see, other than maybe a little bit of cleanup on it, is that when this piece is flush with the fuselage, there's a sizable gap right back here. You can see this piece right here is not flush. It could be forced into place, and that's probably what I'll end up doing. Sorry if it's not on frame. I'll probably end up gluing the front on and then putting some glue in the back and clamping it and having it come up and meet so that it's solid. But it's going to be a pretty awesome kit when it's all done. So, all right. So definitely a fantastic kit for sure from Lunar Models. I highly recommend picking it up. And like I said, I'll leave in the description a link to their Facebook page if you want to go ahead and send them a message, and they will let you know how you can go about getting one of these yourself. So, all right. And the last kit that I got is from Paragrafix. This is brand new. It just came out. It is a 1/350 scale Podbay Interior to go into the Mobius 1/350 scale Discovery, the smaller one. Really quite incredible. It's 3D printed in the most amazing clear resin I've ever seen. It's just crystal, well, it's not crystal clear, but it's really smooth and quite beautiful. So let me go ahead and take it out of the container, and I will show you what this has inside of it. All right, so here are the instructions. Pretty detailed interior for something this super tiny. So it has the maintenance corridor, the storage corridor, little airlock, which go over in the side. Obviously the main assembly is one piece, and the ceiling goes on top. It has the Athena room, the lab area, which is really cool. And then it has 3 pod platforms, one of them which can actually slide in and out in 3 pods. Quite astounding at this particular scale. So here is the actual command sphere for the kit, as you can see, which is really super tiny. But the doors are open, so that's going to be, you know, obviously good for you to be able to see inside of it. So I'll get a little closer here, but at first let me show you. So you have the main area right here, which has the little tanks in the back. It has the Howe workbench in the middle. Sorry, it's light on that. And that's all one piece. You've got the ceiling, which has holes in it for the lights that come through, which is nice. You have the, let me see, that is the lab area. It's going to be hard to see it, but there is actually a little ladder that's built into it right back in there. It's a separate piece. It's pretty amazing. You have the part that goes underneath the floor to support the pods. You have this part is part of the maintenance corridor and the airlock. And then you have the maintenance corridor right here, which is also very detailed, as you can see, and on the back. And you can just make out there's a little pod, super tiny. Another one over here, pod platform. So quite amazing. It's still on the supports, so they'll have to be cut off. But absolutely amazing at this scale. Just utterly phenomenal. The detail. It even has the little fan units, I guess they're called, on the roof right there. So it's going to be some delicate painting for certain to get these to look accurate. But at this scale, it's just phenomenal to even really have this as a as an option. So, all right, let me go ahead and cut off the main parts, like the main section and the roof, and we'll just see how that looks inside of the kit. All right, so there's the main compartment cut loose. And again, it's kind of hard to see the detail because obviously it's all clear, but you can see that it's got the 3 tanks and the 3 sections of the small tanks in the back, the 2 big ones. Little window for the Athena room, the workbench. There's even detailing on the floor. And then the doorways going out to the maintenance corridor and the airlock. Now, generally, you're just going to have the white and black images that are going to show through. It's going to be really tricky. Might even have to make up a decal or use a piece of like self-adhesive stripping to get some red stripes across those tiny little tanks. What I'm thinking of doing is using the decal for the bigger one and shrinking it down and making a decal. We'll see. But pretty amazing detail. Then you have the ceiling, and that has the little air vent units, some little circles for those other pod things sticking down. And of course, like I said, there's holes sticking through the ceiling where you can light through for the ceiling lights from the top. So, okay, so very, very cool. Here is one of the pods. Oh my goodness, this thing is so tiny. Look at this thing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable how small that is. There's 3 of those. On Facebook, there is somebody that's building one of these and for Paragrafix, and he actually made little arms for it with just some pieces of wire, which I will probably attempt. But other than that, lighting is going to be fairly tricky. He also did light up the little screen there on the workbench. And the only thing I can think of for that is maybe mask that off, paint flat black on the rest of it, and then drill a hole or put a light up through the bottom that just illuminates it. But it's probably going to be hard to see anyway, so we'll see. But let me go ahead and put that together and show you how that's going to look inside of the kit. All right, so there we go. That is just astounding to me. Now again, of course, it's clear, so you're seeing the tape behind it that I have on there, but you can definitely see the potential once this gets painted white and the floor black, and you get some lights in there. That's going to be astounding, especially at this scale. It's just absolutely amazing that they were able to make this with the really precise 3D printed materials. So, okay, so fantastic. I got this from Cult TV Man, but they also sell it at Paragrafix.com. And I'll put a link in the description as well. But really, really amazing. Amazing what they've done with this. Let me show you the other parts again. So there's the Athena room. You can make out the little display screens. And like I told you, the little teeny ladder right back there. And they also, likewise, it's hard to tell, but there's a little hole there for a light if you want to put a light down above this to light up that ladder. There's one of the pod platforms. There's one long one that you're going to use to extend it, and you have 2 small ones. Here's the other 2 pods. There is the side of the maintenance corridor that you're going to see. There's the other half that you would not see. And that's attached onto the airlock, which goes on the side as well. So, all right. So, an amazing little kit. I highly recommend it. Go ahead and check that out. And I think you'll be quite pleased with it if you want to do some interior and lighting to your tiny little 1/350 scale Discovery. All right, so that's going to wrap up this review video for this week. I'm probably going to be planning on building the astronaut and the ape here shortly down the road here. Right now I am continuing work on the regular sized Mobius Discovery for my commission build, and I want to continue working on that and getting that completed. So I'm almost completed with filming of that latest video, so that'll be going up in the next day or so as well. This was a little bit of a side video in order to just show, do a review on these kits that I definitely recommend for you to pick up. So, all right. So thank you to all my subscribers, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.